Let's talk about a moment that can be really, really scary. The day your doctor tells you it's time to start insulin. But here's the thing that almost nobody tells you. For so many people, this is the start of a better quality of life, not a worse one. Today, we're going to walk through everything you need to go from feeling fearful to feeling totally confident. Let's do this. So you're in the doctor's office and you hear those 5 words. It can feel like a total gut punch, right? It can bring up all this dread, maybe even a little panic. And if that's how you felt, I just want you to know that is a completely normal and valid reaction. So let's start right there. Okay, but here's the most important reframe. The first thing I want you to really let sink in. This is not the end of the road. It's not some kind of final judgment. It is the beginning of you taking back control, of giving your body an amazing tool it needs to find its balance again. To really believe that, we have to clear the air a little bit. Insulin has a serious PR problem. So let's bust some of those myths and let me introduce you to the real story, because insulin can be an incredible ally on your side. This right here is the biggest one. The fear that needing insulin means you've somehow failed. But the fact is, it's just an upgraded tool for your body. Seriously, think of it like a really important software update, one that helps your whole system run smoother, better, and more efficiently. And this is so critical. It has nothing to do with blame. For many with type 2 diabetes, it's a progressive condition. Over the years, the little beta cells in your pancreas that make insulin, well, they get overworked. They just get tired. So starting insulin isn't a punishment, it's support. It's finally giving those hardworking cells a well-deserved break. So when I say upgraded treatment, what does that actually look like in real life? Well, we're talking about huge, tangible benefits. You get better blood sugar control, which almost always means you have more energy every single day. And most importantly, you dramatically lower your risk of long-term complications. This is all about improving your life, starting right now. Okay, so we've got the why sorted out. Now let's get into the how. This next part is all about the practical stuff. We're going to break down that very first injection and make it feel simple and totally manageable. I get it, the whole idea of a needle can be really intimidating, but I promise you, modern insulin pen needles are so incredibly thin and short. The fear you build up in your head is almost always going to be a million times worse than the actual little poke. So let's just walk through it together, step by step. You got this. It really just comes down to 4 simple steps. First, you're going to prime the pen. That just gets any air bubbles out. Second, dial up your dose, exactly what your doctor told you. Third, you inject straight in at a 90-degree angle. And fourth, this one's crucial. Hold it there and count slowly to 10. That makes sure you get every last drop. That's it. Prime, dial, inject, count. So why are we so focused on that 90-degree angle? Well, it's because we're aiming for a very specific target, that layer of fatty tissue just under your skin. It's called subcutaneous fat, and it's the perfect spot for insulin to be absorbed steadily and predictably. Going straight in makes sure you hit that sweet spot and not the muscle underneath. Awesome, you've mastered the injection. But for long-term success, for making this work day in and day out, there is one habit that is completely 100% non-negotiable. I like to call it the golden rule of insulin. So let me ask you, what do you think is the single biggest mistake people make? The one thing that can totally sabotage all your hard work and leave you with blood sugars that are just all over the place? The answer is not rotating injection sites. And just look at this number, it's pretty shocking. More than half of all people using insulin end up developing these little fatty lumps under their skin. It's a condition called lipohypertrophy. And it's because they inject in the same spot over and over and over again. And here's why that is such a massive deal. Injecting into one of those lumps is like trying to water a plant that's sitting in concrete. The tissue is tough and scarred, and it can slow down how your body absorbs that insulin by up to 25%. Think about that. A quarter of your dose might not be working right. It's one of the biggest reasons for those mystery highs and lows that you just can't figure out. The fix is actually pretty simple. It's all about rotation. You've got these 4 main zones to work with. And what's really cool is that each zone absorbs insulin at a different speed. Your abdomen is the fastest, which is perfect for your mealtime rapid-acting insulin. Your thighs and buttocks, they're much slower, which is great for your long-acting background insulin that needs to trickle in nice and steady. The key is to move around within a zone and also to rotate between the zones themselves. Okay, mindset is in the right place, technique is down pat. The last step in this journey is where you go from just doing it right to really, truly understanding how it all works for your body. This is where you really take the driver's seat. I absolutely love this idea. Getting the technique right, that's going to give you a huge boost of confidence. And that's amazing. But true mastery, that comes from becoming a detective and learning the unique patterns of your own body. So, how do you do that? You just start paying attention to the data. You start tracking a few simple things. Where did I inject this time? What time did I take my dose? And then what happened to my glucose levels? When you start to connect those dots using tools like the My Health Gheware app, you'll see patterns emerge. And when you take that data to your doctor, you're not just a patient anymore. You're a true partner in your own health. All right, let's bring it all home. Here are the most important things to remember. Number 1, insulin is a tool, not a failure. Number 2, the technique is simple. Prime, inject at 90 degrees, and count to 10. Number 3, the golden rule is to always, always, always rotate your sites. And finally, remember that by learning from your own body, you are the one in control. So, I'm going to leave you with this one last thought. After all this, are you ready to flip the script? Are you ready to stop looking at insulin as something to be scared of and start seeing it for what it is? The very thing that can give you the power to take back control. If you want to dive deeper into tracking your own therapy and finding those patterns, you can learn more at health.guessware.com. And of course, just a friendly but very important reminder, this is all for your education. Please always talk to your doctor or your diabetes care team before you make any changes at all to your treatment plan.